Helps if I turn my microphone on. Hello, my friends. It is me, Mr. No Bones, your very good friend, or maybe a complete stranger, I don't know. But hopefully we'll know each other a little better by the end of this live stream. So, as always, most every single day, I am in excruciating pain due to the deleterious effects of having two lifelong, debilitating, chronic illnesses, multiple sclerosis and vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And today was been a pretty rough one. I woke up and had a bit of an emotional breakdown. Excuse me. And luckily, my life partner Casey was available and able to provide me with some comfort and a safe space and some compassion while I worked through my shit. But today I have been very productive and am really making effort to clean and organize my studio space into a place where my mind, my heart, and my gut, my body, my physical self all can grow and heal and relieve the physical, emotional, and psychological pain that I'm in. And now, if you're not aware, I am a dad to the most amazing and spectacular and exceptional 9-year-old that ever was put on this planet. And my ex-wife has prevented me from exercising my visitation rights and seeing physically my child in over 2 months. And I am doing my due diligence and organizing my legal strategy to exercise my rights and to protect my rights as a father and hopefully get a little bit more power back in my situation concerning my son and my ability to be the best dad that I can. Because, as some of you may or may not know, my real dad, my pops, he bailed on my family when I was about 6 or 7, I guess, and my adopted dad, who adopted me when I was 10, died on my 16th birthday, and my real dad, who I never saw or spoke to after, shortly after he left and bailed and started a new franchise. He committed suicide later in my life. So being the best dad that I can is a very important personal motivator for me. So that's one of the greatest sources of my emotional pain and my psychological pain, because my ex-wife is an abuser, a psychological and emotional abuser, who has borderline personality disorder and refuses to acknowledge that fact, and thus refuses to take the proper courses of action necessary to prevent her from being a horrible person. So she's a horrible person. And she relishes in using my child to control me and to continue to harm me, directly and indirectly. But that's not the point of this live stream. I just wanted to kind of fill you guys in on my pain. But as an aside, if you felt compelled to help me out financially in my legal battles, or in fact in any of my various artistic or all projects, my endeavors to contribute financially in any way, you can head over to mrnobones.com, and there's a myriad options. You can contribute to my GoFundMe for my legal battle, or you can just sign up at my Patreon to become a member and help me out on a recurring basis, or you can just toss a dollar in my virtual buskers tin. All of these easily available at mrnobones.com. And I'm adding content every day, and I'm adding functionality every day. Hopefully, hey, maybe soon you'll be able to sign up and become a member at mrnobones.com, whatever the hell that means. If you are enjoying this live stream, or you'd get any sort of enjoyment out of this live stream, make sure to click on like and subscribe and share to my YouTube, and help me out, help me get the word out. So I wanted to speak a little bit first on the main modality that I'll be employing today in my physical training and my physical therapy, and that is quadrupedal movement. And broadly, that's any cyclical action, any repetitive motion, kinetic action that involves all four of your limbs interacting with the ground. The basis of this, the kind of core of this school of training would be, they call them, the animal moves. And these are the things we all did in kindergarten, the bear crawls and crab walks, and then the monkey and the rabbit, I believe, are the other two of what I would say are the four core quadrupedal movements, or animal moves. And the moves themselves and the body mechanics and techniques that we use to transition between these movements are very challenging. They're very good for your body. They're very strengthening to both your large muscle groups as well as your stabilizers. They encourage good biomechanical efficiency and biomechanically sound movement, healthy ranges of motion, and cultivate something that you also cultivate a lot in dance and in Capoeira Angola, one of the martial arts that I study, and one of my favorite healing, playful practices. And I wanted to speak on that, on the healing power of play and playfulness, and that when we engage in any action, we can draw strength and draw motivation from many different places, and we can draw strength from our anger or from our ambition, or just maybe a personal drive to succeed and be the best. But I find that playfulness is one of my favorite sources of well springs of energy and motivation to draw upon. And playfulness, number one, I would say, has to be sourced in love. And when we source anything from love, chances are it will be moving us in what you could subjectively call a better direction or a good direction. And playfulness and the pain relieving nature of playfulness that people in pain, and especially people who are in prolonged pain, I would say, my first thought being oppressed people, you will find a through line, a through current of joyful expressions, things that make us feel happy inside and make us smile, and being playful, bringing a playfulness to whatever we do, almost can't help but bring a smile to your face. One of the things that I have always said over the years of being a martial arts instructor is if you can't smile and laugh while you're training, you should not play with me, because you should not train with me, because you're not going to you're not really going to be comfortable. It's not going to be the kind of environment. I don't cultivate the kind of environment that a person who is unable to smile and laugh while they train would really feel like that's their jam, right? And keep it playful is one of one of the teachers that I respect, Huron Gracie, I believe. It's Henner or Huron. I think it's Huron. But he says keep it playful. And he's specifically referring to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu being a competitive art, an art that is... I'm screaming, buddy. An art that is centered around competition and competitiveness can cultivate an atmosphere of, a very meat-headed kind of atmosphere, and I never really enjoyed those kind of academies and that kind of training. I am not a competitive person as far as sporting wise goes, and the intention of keeping it playful, I want to come back to the mats tomorrow. I'm pretty sure you want to come back to the mats tomorrow, and for the day after that, and the day after that, and one of the best ways to ensure that both motivation wise and physical health and safety wise, is to keep it playful, to just not be so goddamn serious about it. And the more that we lighten our heart, the more that I find creativity and innovation is it's more available to me. I find that I come up with things, whether we're talking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or more broadly just creatively, or even more broadly than that, just in life, right? Is the more that we smile, we keep a smile in our heart, and then the smile comes out, that we do better and we have better results. And the last thing that I wanted to speak on that was, I personally, have, as a person who both lives with chronic pain and who has studied very deeply for quite a long time in martial arts. And I spent several years in my career as a martial artist, martial arts instructor, and especially, when you're a professional martial arts instructor, you have opportunities to train broadly and with many different teachers and in many different styles and in many different ways of training. And a lot of the training that I engaged in for a few years involved the very deep, broad, and granular study of pain and pain management and continuing to function while in pain. And I personally ran a bit of an experiment in those years that I discovered that, backing up, I there's a little piece of information, a little piece of data. Anyway, I'll save that for afterwards. I found that when we smile, and whether it's just putting on a smile as best I can, it works somewhat. But if we can genuinely smile, put a smile on your heart and then a smile on your face, that it physically reduces your pain level. And I don't know the scientific reasoning behind that, but I do know that motor control signals and pain sensory signals travel down the same nervous system, the same channels in our nervous system. That we don't have one nervous system for motor skills and one for sensory data. That they all travel on the same pipelines, right? And they can't do so at the same time. So you can hurt or you can move, but you're actually moving. Just the act of moving will immediately relieve your pain. And when we move when we move with good sound biomechanics in a way that challenges our physical capacities, our ranges of motion, and all of these things, what you're going to end up with is a body that works better and feels better. And the beauty of quadrupedal movement is that it's literally child's play. and it is scalable to all ages and abilities, and especially when you combine it with, which it combines very naturally, with ground flow and how to move on the ground and from the grounded to the standing position and all of the levels in between. This is a very it is a very useful and practical area of study for anybody, but especially those of us with chronic illness, with disability, with mobility limitations and issues. Not just chronically ill people, but even just as we get older. Sound biomechanics and efficient biomechanics and a familiarity with the ground and moving from standing to the ground and up and down. These are practical skills that build in the direction of better functionality, of a reduction in pain and an increase in functional ability, moving away from disability towards ability, right? So that is going to be my focus today. And finally, as always, I just want to lay it out there again that everything is kung fu, and that if we can approach every thing in our life, every undertaking, everything that we do in our life with the desire to have good kung fu in that action, whether it's punching or kicking or taking out the trash or cooking food or sweeping the mats or anything that you can have good kung fu. You can be a craftsman with true heart put into both the preparation and the execution of that activity. So again, my global holistic goal in everything I do is to get better, to be better tomorrow than I was today. And hopefully I can do that in everything. And I'm not going to be able to do that at everything at once. I'm not going to be able to do that in leaps and bounds. But if every day in some small way, in some facet of my life, I can be a little better than I was the day before, then I've made myself a better person. And then my ability to take right action is increased, and my available energy to give to the world is increased, and the chances that I can make the world a better place in some tiny incremental fashion goes up. And that's my goal. So everything is kung fu. Try to be effective, efficient, and elegant. And that's about all I got to say. So I am going to turn my mic down and I'm going to leave you all with my snazzy, royalty-free background music. And I myself am going to listen to Weird Al while I train today because I want to keep it playful, I want to keep smiling, I want to keep laughing, and I want to just want to get better, I want to be better. So, I love you. Keep it playful. Shaka. My yoga teacher said, don't make a pain face. She never really explained it beyond that, but my yoga teacher, Alessandra, she'd always say, don't make a pain face. All right, my friends. That will conclude my live stream for this evening. And I tried my very best to have a lot of fun, to keep a smile in my heart, to not make a pain face. And as always, please like, subscribe, share, and visit MrNobones.com to check out all my various projects and all my various projects and how you can contribute financially if you feel so compelled and so capable. That's the word. All right. Well, thank you very much. I am Mr. No Bones. Have a wonderful evening.